A very popular question I get asked is screen time. And with the COVID pandemic and lockdown, we tend to spend a lot more time in our homes staring at screens, and that includes everybody. So how about children and children with ADHD and screen time? And this can apply to any child. ADHD children can concentrate on screens, they can play PlayStation, but why can't they do other tasks that are important that other children seem to do and they can't? It's a very, very common question, and often one of the reasons why a lot of parents don't think their children have ADHD, because they look and they say, look, they can sit in front of the TV, they watch TV, they play their games, they're on their phones constantly, but yet the teacher says they don't concentrate. Well, it goes to the essence of what ADHD is. ADHD is a self-control problem, and there are 7 functions called the executive functions in the front of the brain, the self-control brain. And the very basic control of the brain, which actually even animals have. They've even shown that chimpanzees can play and use a controller and play a PlayStation. So, you're looking at a screen, there's something you're looking at, you have a response on a controller, and then you see the consequence of your response, and that is immediate. So children with ADHD have no problem looking at screens because that feedback loop is very simple. It is a very basic control. It doesn't require much. So ADHD children are also, they're novelty seeking. They want things that are new all the time. And YouTube on their computers, comedy shows, things that are funny, looking at TV, it gives you immediate feedback. It's easy to see why children are almost like addicted to the screens. The rewards are met immediately. There are some myths. Screen and overexposure to technology does not cause ADHD. And in fact, it doesn't cause behavior problems. There's some advice as to how long and at what age children should be exposed to screens. And the general advice is under the age of 2, a child should be kept away from screens. And it can have some positives. Kids who have social difficulties can interact via their social media. It's a way of learning. You can use it as a reward, a kind of a reward system for good behavior, use of screens. I like to think about, if they're using screens and playing games, as play as you go. Get your child to spend more time reading, doing chores, doing a bit more work, and time them and reward them. Maybe you could say for every hour you spend on your homework, you can get 3/4 of an hour doing your playing your game, or almost a kind of play as you go. There are obviously negative parts and negative aspects to excessive screen. It's asocial. It has that blue light that interferes with your melatonin system, causes sleeping problems. And it's important in your home to create structure and rules. Create screen-free environments at home. Create rules. Monitor sites that children visit that can be illicit. Create firewalls on your router, preventing certain sites that can be visited. And what I do see is parents allowing their kids to play PlayStation games that are meant for 18 plus. And there you've got small kids being exposed to games like Call of Duty and, the junior school years. And I think that is something that needs to be addressed. And kids are unable to control. They don't have that self-control. So, you need to be their self-control. If you kind of take control of your life with your screen, they'll take their lead and take your example.